The President, please be seated. The court is now back in session. Before I hand over to the lead co-lawyer for the civil parties to present the documents before the chamber, I hand over to Judge Jean-Marc Lavange to provide additional explanation on the ruling of the chamber made in relation to the request by the defense counsel for Ieng Sary concerning the documents to be presented before the chamber by the civil party lead co-lawyers. Then Judge Jean-Marc Lavange will rule on the application by the defense counsel for Mr. Nguyen Chir concerning the probative and weight of the probative value and weight of the evidence. Judge Jean-Marc Lavange will provide additional clarification in relation to this issue in furtherance of the ruling by the chamber earlier on. I now hand over to Judge Lavange.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me first of all make a clarification regarding the motion made by Ieng Sary's defense. We have indeed heard that beyond the 11 documents which will be presented by the civil party lead co-lawyers regarding those 11 documents, Ieng Sary's defense intends to challenge a number of them, apart from those that have already been withdrawn regarding this additional motion on which the chamber has not yet ruled. The chamber finds that a general challenge has been made to the effect that these documents are likely to deal with evidence that goes to the acts and conduct of the accused. However, this challenge has not been specified, and the chamber is not in a position to rule on this matter at this point in time. It will hand down its ruling subsequently, at the very latest at the time of the verdict on the merits of the challenge, and it will also clarify the point whether it would refer or consider such evidence regarding the motion made by Nguyen Chir's defense regarding the position of the chamber regarding the probative value of comments made by an accused person on documents presented at hearings. The chamber points out that the specifications that have been provided by Judge Cartwright on behalf of all the judges of the chamber remain valid. The chamber recalls, by the way, that the probative value of comments made by an accused person, as is the case with all evidence presented during this trial, will be assessed in light of the internal rules when the chamber will hand down its verdict. The judgment that will be rendered in that regard will be reasoned.
Thank you, Judge. I now hand over to the lead co-lawyer for the civil parties to present the documents before the chamber. You may proceed.
Mr.
Mr. Pech Ong. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honors. My name is Pajong. I am the National Lead Co-Lawyer for the civil parties. I would like to seek your permission to present a number of documents. There were a lot of documents in the initial list submitted by the civil party lead co-lawyer section, which also included the written records of interviews of witnesses as well. However, in the updated list of the documents, we have excluded many written record of interviews, and we only wish to present only selected documents. And we know that some of the documents we intend to present have already presented by the prosecution, so I would not label the points, and I would simply like to present new documents. Certain documents we are going to present to the chamber are the video clips as well as the relevant written documents which illustrate the communication during the Democratic Cambodia period. To begin with, I would like to ask for permission to present a video clip which demonstrate the interview with Mr. Nguyen Chia, document E1668R, entitled in English, Enemy of the People. I do not wish to mention the author of this document, but I would like to seek leave from the chamber to have this document display on the screen. The President, you may proceed. The President, AV assistant, please play this video clip on computer screens. Mr. Pajong, I would like to clarify this document. This document is E186.1R. In this video clip, it starts with minute 9:41 to minute 11 and 10 seconds. This is the first video clip in the series, and I would like it to be played now. The President, court officer, please check with the AV assistant whether or not the video can be played. Actually, I was supposed to take over after Tu Samut was killed because I had been in his deputy. But I recognized that Pol Pot as an independent thinker with a very analytical mind. And at the time, we also needed to attract intellectuals to the resistance. Some consider me as an intellectual, but I consider myself as a low-level intellectual. So I approached Pol Pot and told him that in the face of the current circumstance, I was not the right person to become the party secretary because it would not be good for the party. So Pol Pot should assume the position as the secretary. He thought about it and agreed to my request, but he emphasized that we had to unite. So that was it. He became the party's secretary from then on. There was one issue that I have almost forgotten back then. Council Pich Ong, thank you. In this short video clip, I would like to emphasize that when Mr. Nuon Chea were discussing with Pol Pot, he noted that Pol Pot agreed to become the secretary of the party, but they mutually agreed that they would work together in the party. Clip. Now I would like to seek leave from the chamber to play the second clip. The second video clip starts with minute 11 and 36 seconds to minutes 12 and 43 seconds. Back then, sometimes they did not call them meetings, they simply gathered informally. If it was a meeting, there must have been a proper setup for that purpose. But at that time he said, comrade, I have an idea I would like to discuss with you. So it was merely informal discussion. We simply exchange our comments outside of the meeting setting, so it was fast. So for efficiency's sake, we exchange our comments at that time. That's what we talk to each other, and that were done on a more frequently basis because there was no formal meeting. There were ongoing situations that required us to exchange our views. Council Pich Ong. In this second video clip, when Pol Pot was talking to Nuon Chea that he had to work together with Nuon Chea, since then their working relation with Nuon Chea was through exchanges of comments and views, and those comments were made informally. It was not in the form of a meeting setting. So, but it demonstrates that there was a close consultation between Pol Pot and Nuon Chea.
Thank you. I do not object to the presentation of the clips. I do object to characterizations of the material by counsel. That is in the way of what I believe we would refer to as final submissions or legal submissions, factual submissions. So perhaps if we could just stick to the playing of the clip, and if counsel wants to read from a transcript, that's fine. But could we refrain from characterizations of whatever is being presented?
Council Pich Ong, thank you, Council, for the comments. I will try to avoid any characterization of the facts also. and I will try not to draw any conclusion out of this either. Now I would like to move on to the fourth video clip, starting from minute 14 and 24 seconds to minute 15 to second 35. This video describes the criticism and self-criticism session. Did your self-criticism session, what did you do? As I recall, he criticized me for not following the guidelines of the United National Front. He said that I was not thorough enough when it comes to complying with the party lines. I was not in conformity with the front lines. That's what he criticized me at that time. And my criticism of Pol Pot were firstly health issue, and secondly I cannot recall because there were a lot of things. Oh, that's right. He was too quick to trust people around him. This is according to my recollection. Council Pejang, thank you. In relation to the criticism and self-criticism session, it was also mentioned in the statute of the Communist Party of Cambodia. And with your leave, Mr. President, I would like to ask my colleague to project document IS 9.1 and point 7 of the statute. You may proceed. And I would like to read out the statute. The statute of the Communist Party of Cambodia, point 7, Communist Party of Cambodia adopts the self-criticism and self-criticism on a daily basis as the basis to change the disadvantages or mistakes made by parties. Then I would like to move on to point 7, point 2 of this statute. The revolutionary stance. All members shall uphold the firm revolutionary stance in relation to the life views and world life view of the revolutionary movement, and we shall examine the life view biography, and we have to try to expand our qualities and advantages. This was in relation to the self-criticism and criticism, as well as the life view session. I have already mentioned the portion of this statute, and now I would like to ask the Chamber for leave to continue to play another video clip, clip 5A. from minute 17 second 17 to minute 17 to 17:49 second.
บอกเรียนการពិភាក្សាណាមួយដែលតឹងរឹងគ្នានេះបាទ
Did you and Pol Pot ever argue? Respond, there was nothing. There was no argument between us between 1975 and 1979. There was no contention between us.
បាទសូមអរគុណឈុតវីដេអូនេះនិយាយ
This video clip shows the discussions between Nuon Chea and Pol Pot and the nature of their relation during the period. Now I would like to ask the AV assistant to continue to play, to display document 5C.
After the liberation, we knew this problem, but it's not so clear. But we saw a lack of discipline amongst our cadre. They were drunk on power, debauchery, and wine. Even though wine was not sold, but it could be found somewhere. This is the internal affair of the party. So I talked with Pol Pot. Our party is still young.
បាទសូមអរគុណ
Council Pekong, thank you. Another clip is talking about the matter that Nuon Chea and Pol Pot used to discuss. This is one of the clip number 6. Sorry. Yes, number 6. From minute 23:34 seconds and 24:36 seconds. I would like leave from the court to play this clip. When you talk with Pol Pot, you decide you smash a person's selfish nature in part of drawn to power and privilege from personal, not to use the power. And to be away from a woman and avoid alcoholic, drunk. Money, I'm talking about materialism. So materialism make people selfish. So to smash the nature, it's not to smash the person, to smash the selfish and the aristocracy. You think only your own personal interest and never of other people. This is what smashing means. Council Pekong, next. I would like to request for a play of clips of 5B from minute 18:00 to 18:56 seconds. So. Question: do you have any different views, or you still support Pol Pot because Pol Pot loved his country? He only killed traitors. He didn't kill the people. It was the traitor who did that. They were the traitor who killed them. What do you think of people who say Pol Pot was the killer? Do you have any comment against him? He is not a killer. A killer is someone who murders innocent people without any reason. It is a killer. Pol Pot was not a killer. He killed, sorted out those who betrayed the nation and the people, those who sold the land to a foreigner. Council Pek Ong, thank you for the last video clips in relation to the interview of Nuon Chea, clips number 7. The President, Council, you may proceed.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. At this stage of the proceedings, and this point where we're projecting these videos, what is the link between these passages and communication structures and military structures? This is the question that I wish to pose my learned colleague across the way.
Councillor Pek Ong, these video clips were the interview on the information structure, as I also addressed the court. And between Pol Pot and Nuon Chea, their communication, they share their information, how their discussion was. What was the view of Nuon Chea in relation to Pol Pot's view, and what Pol Pot said and did. These are the relationship or the communication structure of information. It falls with the presentation of this document. The President, Council, you may proceed. The last clip for the interview is clip number 7. It related to the confessions of S21 from minute 26:40 to 27 and 30 seconds. I would like to ask the court to present or to play this clip. Thank you. Question. You told me you read the confessions so you could use them for educational purpose. They were from S21 so that you can educate the cadre so that they can follow. How did you use them to educate your junior cadres? So how did you do that for education? I didn't read all the documents because there were many. It was not my job to read them all. I just highlighted some of the enemy's dangerous trick to warn our junior cadres. The enemy led our cadres astray from the party line. Council Pek Ong, thank you. Next, I would like to move on to another interview conducted by a person named Rosan Senata. And this video is numbered E101/2.3R, E109/2R. The title, The Survive in the Heart of the Khmer's Madness. It is its title. It's the Continue to Survive of the Heart of the Khmer's Madness. This is my oral interpretation of the title. I would like now to request Mr. President to play this video from number 1 from minute 6 minutes 35 seconds to minute 8 and 20 seconds. The President, the courts grant your request. At Stung Chinet, I met Pol Pot for the first time. It was Lotsaw, the same man I knew at school in Kampong Cham, but I didn't know he was a party secretary. He's the high leader. I was not only one surprised, everybody was surprised, because Lotsaw was not known, good reputation. It was like that. So I was surprised. I know at the first meeting I listened to his analyze or his discussion. He had such a capacity to analyze things. Everyone recognized him, like Hu Yun, Hu Nim, Pokta Kumar, and myself. We were all impressed. Before, we only knew Lotsaw as a musician and a soccer player. At all of our meetings among the intellectuals, we met at each meeting. When we left the meeting, we understood the situation, we understood the measure quite well. We saw it was the only path to take. That's all. The President, Counsel for Mr. Khil Sampon, you may proceed.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, President. I repeat my comment from earlier on. I believe that these passages of video recordings have absolutely no link to the subject of these hearings. The defense team for Mr. Khil Sampon has already made written submissions with respect to this matter. I will therefore emphasize once again that my learned colleague representing the civil parties is submitting before your honorable chamber elements that do not fall within the framework that has been defined by your honorable chamber. The passages that we have just heard have absolutely no relevance to administrative structures or communication structures. They refer to meetings for which they do not even know the dates, concerning participants that are unidentified. I believe your honors must put an end to this exercise. That is my request, your honors.
Counsel Baek-ong, I would like to respond to the defense counsel for Khil Sampon. In fact, the defense counsel for Mr. Khil Sampon raised the possibility that it does not related to Lotsaw was a shocker or the poor person, but he failed to say that Khil Sampon mentioned about the meeting, and when they left the meeting, Khil Sampon have an idea on that meeting. This is the assessment of Mr. Khil Sampon on the capacity of Pol Pot. This is the critical point and it related to a person who is the accused upon, and the work relationship or information sharing between the member of the Central Committee in the past, and also in the framework of the fact, the temporal jurisdiction of the court. And these are the points are really relevant to the presentation of the document regarding the communication structure, especially in this part of the hearing. Thank you. The President, the trial chamber consider that the show of video clips is somewhat relevant to the presentation of the administrative structure of the DK. So the Council for Civil Party can continue his presentation. Council, thank you, Mr. President. Regarding the information structure and communication structure, I would like to request for leave to show clip number 5 of the video from minute number 1 and 5 seconds. It's my apology. From minute number 5, 23 seconds to 6 minutes and 44 seconds. I would like to request that video clip be shown. After a long fight in the forest, what was your first impression the day of victory in Phnom Penh? As soon as I learned the victory, April 17, 1975, I was so very happy. Where were you? I was in the west of Odong, a little bit in Phum Dong, the headquarters of the Khmer Rouge, the last base before the capture of Phnom Penh. They asked me to come along. It was near the end of March. I had to be on site to closely follow the progression of the fighting and battlefield. The day of victory, I was so very happy, but then I ran into combatants coming from Phnom Penh. It was a turmoil. They were talking, a discussion about the evacuation of Phnom Penh, and they spent a long time, crowded people in the street of Phnom Penh. I was surprised. I later learned the order had been given from the leaders. Council Pek Ong, Next, I would like to request a show of clip number 3 from minute 55 and 28 seconds to 58 minute 204 seconds. Thank you. The President, your request is granted. I would like to know, if you could live your life again, would you still choose to work and fight in the struggle in the Khmer Rouge again, if you could do it all again? Response. Firstly, I would like to tell you that your question is difficult for me to respond because you can't change history. History belongs to the past. We cannot repeat the history. However, what can I draw from my experience? As I already told you, what I did with conviction. I joined the movement in good faith half of my life. Do I regret what happened? What happened in the event which caused the death of so many countrymen? I explained it in my first open letter. I didn't know what was happening. However, I can be accused that of not firmly opposing the order and the organization and the party. All I did, I was address my remark in the meeting. And so, does it should I be responsible to what extent for doing this? Council Pek Ong, this clip is related to the evacuation, the establishment of the cooperative, and in related to the establishment of cooperatives, we can find the content in other documents. I would like to request permission from the court to read the document of Mr. Kilsempon, his thesis, document E3/123, ERN in Khmer 00767387, English 005, and in French 0023 575. The President, counsel for Mr. Kilsempon, you may proceed.
Mr. President, I have the impression that the lawyer for the civil parties is rather confused. He seems to assume that these hearings are devoted to the closing arguments of this trial. Once again, he has presented a passage that has absolutely no relevance to the framework that you have defined. He's talking about cooperatives, and once again, he is wasting the precious time of all present. I do not see how the matter of cooperatives is in any way connected to administrative structures and communication structures of democratic Kampuchea. Thank you.
Council Pek Ong, I would like to respond to the remark by the Defense Council. Cooperative is part of the structure of the decay from the Central Committee, and it existed at the local level, at the base, and we need to look into the cooperative. Were there any cooperative during the decay period? What are the policy of establishment of the cooperative? And it related also to the structure of the decay in this regard. So I would like to request the court to allow me to present this document. The President, you are granted. Council, you may proceed. Council Pek Ong, I'm sorry that the objection that caused me to lose some time from my allocation. The phrase that I read, ERN, that I read a while ago, reads as follows: A, the prevents from the products imported from abroad. First, we need to move the location because of the importation of the consumer's good, which eliminate the influence of the foreigner. And then we can direct the goods which are imported, so we can limit the importation. So the requirement in the domestic will be complemented by the small industry, and we do not need big investment, so that we need to create a cooperative for production, supply, and employment of the works. This is related to the cooperative. And the next point, it is in his thesis. The thesis of Mr. Kilsumpon deal with the cooperative. Khmer ERN 007674441. English ERN 00750636. French ERN 00236643. One paragraph in this section said, we have seen already that the narrow market in Cambodia may prevent any efforts toward the industrializations. Due to this reason, the government should try to gather the farmers so that they can help one another, try to organize the cooperative to supply food and other things, and to implement the agricultural credit with by the plant. So I would like to end the quote. So I would like to tell the defense counsels that here is also talking about cooperatives. In the preface of the thesis with the ERN number in Khmer 0076 72 96, English ERN 0075 05 55, French ERN 0023 6473. Here we can see in the preface mentioned about the goals of the writing of this thesis. I would like to quote the following paragraph.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to respond to the conclusion made by the civil party lead co-lawyer. He made mention that in the previous paragraph he read out, they used the word cooperatives, but actually it did not mention the use of the word cooperative specifically, but they did mention cooperative, but there was no definition as such. It was only a plain use of this term. The President. Thank you. The Chamber has already advised the parties that they need not mention in detail the term cooperative. We simply wish to hear the documents relevant to the communication. We did not want parties to dwell on the details of this. We did not want to know the detail of the cooperatives that were ongoing at the Tramkok district at the time. So, lead co-lawyer may proceed. I would like to read out the preface of his dissertation. It reads in paragraph 2, this study is divided into two parts. In the first, we shall make a case for the objective necessity of industrial and self-directed development through an examination of Cambodia's current economic structure and the mechanism fostering this structure and its consequences of continuing economic change. And in the second part, we shall treat some specific obstacles to industrial development. We shall make an effort to determine how to undertake structural reform so as to establish a firm basis for industrialization and to specify the requirements of such reform. End quote.
ในเอกสารนี้ให้ខ្ញុំសូមអនុញ្ញាតវិលមក
And I would like to come back to the video clips. And Mr. President, I know that we are running out of time for the days, and I need approximately 10 more minutes today to play these video clips. The President, thank you. Lead co-lawyers, can you please advise the Chamber as to how much time you will need tomorrow to present your documents? Counsel Pik Ong. Thank you, Mr. President. Today we have spent approximately 1 hour presenting our documents, and tomorrow, in our estimation, we may need another an hour. We are not going to exceed the time allocated by the Chamber to the civil parties for this purpose. The President, thank you. The time is now appropriate for the day adjournment. The Chamber will adjourn now, and we will resume tomorrow morning on Friday, starting from 9 o'clock in the morning. And tomorrow hearing, the Chamber will start with the presentation of document by the civil party lead co-lawyers. And the civil party lead co-lawyers will finish the presentation of all the documents by tomorrow morning, and then we will proceed to the defense teams for the co-accused, beginning with the defense team for Nguyen Chia. Security guards are instructed to bring the co-accused back to the detention facility and return them to this courtroom tomorrow morning before 9 o'clock. The court is now adjourned.